Hiya guys, and welcome back to Ace Workshop. And this is going to be part 18, I believe. Well, the title will tell me if I'm wrong, of the Stuart Models S50 steam engine. When I started out with this, I had no idea it was going to make so many videos, but here we are on part 18, I hope. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be making the piston and the piston rod, or conrod piston rod, we'll call it. Slightly different way I go about it, I think, than what I've seen other people doing it. In that I make a blank of the piston, make the rod, screw the piston on, and then machine it all afterwards. And there's some tiny little oil grooves, 15 thou wide, 15 thou deep, which is a bit of fun. Anyway, let's get straight to the lathe and the mill and what have you, and get this piston and the rod made. So, the piston. Now you saw me hold the bore. So we're going to be nominal 5/8. So I'm going to leave it about 10 thou up, 0.25 mil up, something like that. The first job, base it off. So what I'm going to do is fit it to the piston rod and then skim the OD and put the oil grooves in. So I know it's concentric to the thread on the inside. Okay, I'll just set a 0 there. Right, let's take a scratch pass off this and have a measure. Piston's only 1/4 inch wide, but yeah, I'll go back a good 3/8, so I'll have room for parting. So, right, what size am I looking for? Quick look at the Zeus book. 5/8. 5/8 is, well, I know it's 0.625, but what's that in imperial? It's about, yeah, about 15.8 mil. I'm going to go 16 mil. So I'm aiming for a target here of 16 mil. Got the good mic out. .51. Okay, so I know I can safely take a millimetre off there. Let's just set a 0. Half mil cut. Half mil cut, takes a mil off the diameter. Lovely finish on that. So let's have a measure. .38. Do it again. 16.38 millimeters. I'll take another 0.1 aside. Should be 16.18. I'm just going to go to a line on my scale. I was between 2 lines on my hand wheel. That is cutting, I can see it. It's very fine. Okay. As I said, this is going to be oversized. .102. That should do me. Okay. What size is that? .011. We leave it at that. Quick idiot check. And the cylinder doesn't fit. Okay. Good news. Right. So next step, I think, is going to be to drill and tap it 5BA. Is it 5BA? Quick look at the drawing. It's 5BA. The number 37 drill. It's not clear on the drawing whether this is drilled right through and tapped. The thread on the end of the shaft that fits into this threaded hole is 5/16 long, and yet the piston's only 1/4 long. I was thinking of perhaps doing the thread 1/4 long on the one end, screwing it into here and Loctiting it, but putting a centre in the end so that when I come to machine this, in the end of the crank basically, no gas will escape past the threads if it's Loctited in. I'm sure it should be good. So I'm going to drill the full depth right through. Rightly or wrongly, tempted to do it 3/16 deep, but I do want to put a centre in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 millimeters. 7, 8, 9. That'll be more than enough for tapping. Okay. So that's that hole tap central to the oversize that we've just turned. So let's get the 5BA tap. I'm being very careful because I can't get much feel on this. I think I've established that that's square. There's enough thread in there. I'm just putting gentle back pressure on the tailstock to pull it out. And I think I'll finish that by hand. Okay. So that's started with the 5BA. Let me put that little 5BA back in its packet. Or I'll never find it again. Right. So, next thing with this is to part it off. I'm just going to just chamfer that lead there. 2 seconds. Okay. I've got a very small centre drill, or centre I should say, countersink. I'll get the word in a minute. Okay. Happy days. So part it off. So parting tool up. And I think I'm going to leave it a 16th up. So let's find a rule. Here we go. Let's just line that up on the front edge. Set to 0. And 5/16. So let's say 8 mil. Could have turned that OD back a bit further. Okay, part it off at 8 mil. You know what, it's going to end up at 6.35. I'm going to pad it up at 7 mil. 8 is a bit keen, I think. Okay, hope for the best. All good. Speed up a little while keeping the feed going. A bit more. Bit more. And will it? And drop it in the bed. Okay. So that is my Piston Blank. So I've just taken my chuck off, clean the bore out. Let me just put my little protector on. A couple of nuts on the back. This protector basically drilled hot. Those of you that have been watching for a long time will have seen me making this. It's basically made from a nylon chopping board. I drilled the 3 holes in the right place on the pillar drill before I had a mill. Bolted it on and then turned it in situ to fit the headstock here. Fits on the little rebate within and just protects all this area while I haven't got the chuck on and while I'm using the Morse taper. And I'm all fingers and thumbs. Normally this is dead simple. So nuts on the back, the same as we do with the chuck. No need to go mad, I'm only pulling onto plastic, it grips to a certain degree. So yeah, a 99p or chopping board from somewhere or other, and turned it up to do the job. 3 little studs, nuts on the back, the same ones as we use on the chuck. Let's just give that another clean. There's enough oil on my hands to lubricate this. In with a collet chuck. Drawbar in from the back. Get it started. 19mm spanner, which is hanging here on my rack. And let's just tighten her up. There we go. So this is the rod that we're going to make the piston rod out of, shall we call it? So I need to find an appropriately sized collet now. So my 3 to 4mm collet fits nicely with a, there we go, 1/8 diameter, or just under. I think it was half thou under an 1/8. And there we are. Let's just check it's running nicely, beautifully. So turning tool. I think for this process I'm just going to drop it further back in the chuck because we'll get a bit of flex there while I'm squaring the end off. So let's have a quick look. Back in with the spanners. Now I'll have to look and see. I've got to put 5/16 of thread on it, so I've got to have it stuck out a bit. I can always move it again. Okay. So, I think this is stainless. When I tickle the end off to try it in the end cap of the cylinder that it's going to fit in, it turns like stainless. There's a bit of deformation on the end of here where they've nipped it off, whatever stock they had. Almost looks like it's been guillotined off. Okay, that's tidied that up. I've just got my 5BA die out, and it appears we have an issue. It's imperial on the outside instead of metric, and it doesn't fit my little die holder, or my little die holder, tailstock die holder. I'm wondering if I take the die holder off, flick it round the other way, still fits on its arbor, and I could bore it out in that end to take that size. Can't see why not. Only problem is I've got to take the collar truck out again. But that is what I shall do. Now, this isn't about making a tailstock die holder, so I'll do that off camera. So we've run the die down there, and we've got 1/4 of an inch easily. Okay. So the overall length of this, about 65.8 mil, and as it stands at the moment, it's about 67.5. So I'm going to take 1.5 mil off the overall length. So let's put the threaded portion in. I'll put it in a fair way. We're going to face 1.5 mil off this. Okay, so that's nipped up. Oh dear, we're miles away. Just touch on there, get a 0. That's 1 mil off. And that's 1.5. I'm just going to check it with the calipers this time. Oops. Okay, so the length I'm looking for, 65.88. .5 we'll call it. So yeah, there's 0.5, 0.6 to come off. I'm going to leave that on and perhaps take it off at a later date, or will I? I'm going to take it off now, 0.6. Now this end has got 5/16 of thread on, I believe. It did call for that both ends, but as the piston's only 1/4 thick, I couldn't see the purpose in that. So we're going to take 0.5 off, touch again, there. Okay, so we'll put a little chamfer on there. Can I get 5/16 of thread on there? Not really, I'll have to make it stick out a bit more. Just put a little lead for the die. Okay. And we'll pull her out in the chuck a bit more and run the die down there. I'm sure you've seen me run a die down a piece of stock so many times by now. it stuck out a bit. Where you can see what's going on. Okay. So I want 5/16 of thread on here. So, yeah, good 5/16 on there. No worries. So, back out again, turn it round. I just went to put the piston and realised I hadn't tapped it through, so I'm going to do that in the vise. So I'm going to Loctite this in. So I'm going to Loctite this in. So clean with brake cleaner. Well, in fact, this is carb cleaner. And I'll do exactly the same through the hole. Okay. And we'll get a bit of Loctite. Ah, we have a blockage. Try again. Want to get a little drill and go down in there. Let's have a look. What have we got? Little 1mm drill bit. There we are. I think that sorted it out. Should we try that again? A little bit of Loctite. A bit there. Okay, so I need to grab that firmly. Oh, I wasn't expecting that to be quite so to hand. I'm not worried about this OD, but I'm not. That is on there. Okay, so machining this is going to tighten it up anyway, so no great worries. Let's just see how true it's running. Not too bad. That base looks okay. I may do a scratch pass down that with a parting tool. It's hard to tell. Yes, I'm going to do a scratch pass down the back edge. Let me just put that 1mm drill away, because that will disappear in moments. So, parting tool. Can I get down the back end of here? I need to get a piece of paper underneath so I can see. Okay, I've just set a 0 on depth. So, another plough, I think. it's just trued up that back face. Okay, I'm going to get a very small centre drill and put a centre in the end of that shaft. I've just put that centre drilled hole in. Nothing special, nothing to see. So I need to face it to thickness now. Might even lose that centre. Let's go 0.1. So we're looking for 1/4 of an inch, and calipers will not go in there. Wonder if my mic would go in there. No, that won't go in there. Ooh. About a 64th. Let's see what I can find to measure the thickness of that. So in the end, I just popped it a bit further out in the chuck. A little bit dirty, my calipers. It's better. So we're looking for 250 thou, and that is 269. Should be 260. Yep. There's a 1/4 inch. Okay, I will have to recut this centre. I'm going to do that now. Okay, you can see tiny centre in there. So, yeah, I'm going to swap over and put a centre up in the tailstock, just as a bit of support for when I'm turning the OD. I'm putting these grooves in. Okay, so that's going to mess up your view slightly. We'll take a scratch pass. Not quite cleaned up. Another tiny one. And another one. Okay. I wonder what diameter that is. .925. I think at this point I need to measure this bore. Oh. it just goes in. I think luck is on my side today. I think with a little polish, that's going to be perfect. Sometimes you win, eh? So I've ground up this little, let's call it a parting blade. And it's a 64th wide, in fact it's about 15 thou. So, 3 grooves. I've already done the central one. I think you can just about see it. I will bring you around the other side in a moment for the next shot. But yeah, so I need a groove in here. I've already done 1 groove, as they say, so I've got a 0, and I've got to go 15 thou deep. So we'll chatter a little. It should touch any moment now. So I'm just going to sit there. The load on this tiny little blade is very little because it's such a narrow one. So I just wind in a parting sort of, there we go, chattering stop, 12, 13, 14, 15 and out again. So I'll just take the tool using the DRO to the next position for the 3rd groove, and I'll see if I can bring you around the other side to show you this. But yeah, it's absolutely tiny. So I'm going to try and keep you as still as I can, guys. So that's 15 thou wide, that blade. We'll go into a touch, which is there. 15 thou deep groove. There. And back out. So there we have it. That's the 3 oil grooves. So now the features are done on there, I've just got a piece of wet and dry that's partially worn out. Going to break that leading edge of the piston, and I'm just going to fold it and just creep those 3 grooves. Okay, I think a little bit larger break edge on that piston. Okay, lovely. So that's the piston and, well, we'll call it a conrod. Yeah, I suppose it is a conrod. The piston and conrod done. So, somewhere I have my spanners. Here we are. We'll just break that loose out of the chuck. Okay. Put the spanners down. And there it is. A little bit of Loctite lurking around in the bottom of there. I'll have to clean that up. That's it, the piston and conrod. So the only thing I need to do now is just check the overall length of this to the drawing. Well, there we are, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Spent a bit of time on the lathe instead of the mill, which was a bit of a change. Anyway, as usual, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.